What's happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and welcome back to another part of our Lords of the Fallen boss strategy series. This time around, we're going to be taking a look at Worshipper. Now, Worshipper is the third Lord you will encounter. He is unique in that he's the first boss which you can basically completely cheese. Now, as you can see right now, I'm standing on this little kind of runic platform. And basically, as long as you are on this runic platform, the majority of his attacks won't affect you, which we're going to go into right now. The first, which you can see he's doing right now, he plunges his scythe into the ground, and while the scythe is in the ground, it will create energy scythes that will pop out of the ground and attempt to hit you. Additionally, he has skulls that he'll throw in a frontal cone pattern that also bounce. Make sure to roll away from those. They're not nice to get hit by. Additionally, if you get close enough, he has a stun move that he'll do. Right here are the scythes, as you can see. With us running, they just keep popping out of the ground, very similar to the Gravelord sword in Dark Souls 1 in a sense. The other three main mechanics of this fight, aside from his basic melee attack, which is usually in a 1-2 swing pattern, he has a stun that he'll do when you get within close range of him, and following that stun he will attack you. He also has a basically down phase where he goes into kind of a kneeling stance for 15 seconds, and then upon coming out of that, he will swing his scythe into the ground, causing a massive AoE explosion that effectively will one-shot you if you're not standing on one of those runic platforms. And the last thing is, as you progress through the fight, he will progressively summon minions to assist him, and they're the small beast minions you encounter on your way down to the graveyard as you're going down the path. Now, there's two main times that he has very, very obvious openings. The first is when he's charging up his big spell that one-shots you. Keep in mind you have almost exactly 15 seconds before he can kill you. And the second is if he destroys one of these platforms. Now, when he does a scythe slam on top of a platform, he can in fact destroy it, which you can use both to your advantage and your disadvantage. And this is important to note, because while it can destroy the platform, and you know, he goes into basically a knelt stance and you can get free damage in, at the same time, that's one less platform you're going to be able to run to when the time comes and you need them. So, as you can see, he's kind of derping out right now. And aside from his melee attacks, you can basically just kill this guy purely with the range through staying in the platforms, but I'm trying to force him to use his big swing where he'll destroy the thing. There it is. You can see now he is kneeling down, and you have a pretty good opportunity right now to get in some damage. Given, I would highly suggest you use this sparingly, because while he is down and it's an excellent opportunity to get in some damage, you also have one less platform now. So there's his stun attack, but thankfully I pushed him into his phase shift, and we can see he's starting to kind of chant. At this point, this is when you want to haul ass and run. You can see ground all over is beginning to turn blue, and as I mentioned, if you're not within one of these shrines, when he slams his scythe into the ground, you basically get one shot. And I'm not joking, it's a complete one shot. I'm on New Game Plus and it one shots me, so definitely keep in mind that you need to watch out for that. Additionally, he will summon up enemies throughout the fight, as I mentioned before. That's happening right now. Keep in mind that his melee attacks can in fact kill those enemies, so you can use that to your advantage. So right now he's getting ready to do his one-shot mechanic again. I might actually die from getting hit by these enemies if I don't make it to that runic platform in a second. Ooh boy, just made it. You can see that also took care of the enemies for us. Quite convenient. So we're going to wait for him to come over. He's going to toss out some skulls, roll past those, and we're going to pop up rage and get ready to kill him here. So all in all, once you know the strategy, he is a fairly simple fight. Obviously, the big things to look out for are the stun that he does, which will follow up and kill you. This phase right here, because if you're not in a platform, you're going to die. And lastly, be careful in kiting him over to the platforms, because obviously, if he destroys enough of those platforms, you're going to be in trouble. One last thing I want to note, as you saw right there, running through the blue stuff to reach the platform, I was afflicted with a snare. So keep that in mind. Not fun to get snared while you're trying to make it to a platform for your life, but all in all, as long as you avoid the one-shot mechanic that he has and sparingly use the shrines to stun him to get in damage, you should be fine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you kill the Worshipper. So the third lord being down, obviously up next there are 2 different lords you could take on depending on which path you take. Through the route of sheer story progression, it would be the infiltrator, but if you did some side quests, you can actually get the catacombs key from the chick. I believe it's Kelka. I always forget what her damn name is, but either way, make sure to stay tuned. Up next we are going to be going after the infiltrator, and then following that, of course, we will be looking at the champion down in the catacombs. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more Lords of the Fallen boss strategy kill videos.